Hello once more my people, welcome to today's video. Today we'll be getting into the chart. We'll be doing a chart breakdown to be able to spot opportunities, and this video will be a market forecast on GBPUSD alone. So basically, like other videos, I always like to start my analysis on the monthly time frame, but on this particular video I will start on the weekly time frame. So getting into the charts, guys, you guys can clearly see what the direction of the market is. So looking at price, let's start analyzing price on a larger perspective. And analyzing price on a larger perspective, we can see from this point that price created this swing high which went down and created this swing low. We saw a retracement of price upward within a supply zone sitting at this level to form another swing high. So this is a high which created a low. Price went up to create a lower high which went down to create a lower low, and by so doing bulk structure to the downside. Then we saw a retracement within another supply zone within this level. This is the supply zone again, to form another lower high which went down again to form another lower low while still breaking another structure, so telling us the market is bearish. And since price came down here, we saw another retracement upwards to form another lower high. We're expecting that since price has been moving in a series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, we're expecting price within a point in time within this area to form another lower low. It means price should sell. That is our analysis, the way we are looking at the market based on market structure. And guys, remember, within within a swing high and a swing low, we have another mini market structures. We call them internal market structure. So within this swing high and this swing low, everything you see within this area is what we call internal market structures. So based on that, we get again into the chart, and you guys to see this was the last low which was able to push price up to this point in time we are here right now. So everything within this last low and that last high is what we call internal market structure. And in analyzing the market on the higher time frame, we will scale down to the lower time frame so that we can have a clear picture of what the price is doing within this internal market structure. So the same way we're able to identify lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs on the higher time frame, we will also go down to the lower time frame and analyze the same market in the same structure, in the same pattern within this internal market structure. So now we're on the weekly time frame. As you guys can see up here, we'll go a step further onto the daily time frame, so that getting to the daily time frame, we'll be able to have a clear picture of what the market is doing. So we'll go one chart below. You guys should forget about all these diagrams and everything you guys are seeing. Let's just focus on what is important. I have to zoom out the chart a little bit so let's understand a little bit. Okay guys, this is the chart. Look at what's happening. If you look at this chart, remember, this was that lowest point which was able to push price up to this point. You understand, guys? So this is that lowest lower low which formed that latest lower high. Now what are we expecting? We're expecting to study now market action, market direction within this area, because we've already studied market, we've already studied price action within the whole chart. Now we have to focus on the most recent low and on the most recent high to be able to understand what's happening within this area. And if we get directly into this area, what we see, I have to zoom a little bit so you guys should have a clear picture. So looking at this chart at this moment, I'd like to make it a little bit clear. Okay, let's just skip it. Looking at the chart at this moment, remember, price was creating a series of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower low. Okay, what happened here? Price went up, broke this previous lower high to form a higher high, telling us there's a potential for price to start buying. Price started being bullish, started creating series of a higher high here, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. We're expecting price to create a higher low. And since we're expecting price to create, why we're expecting price to create a higher low? We're expecting price to create a higher low because it has been creating, it has been providing a pattern. So coming within this area, we're expecting to create that the same pattern downwards, like these other ones here, like these other ones here, like these other ones here. So based on that knowledge, we're expecting price to sell. We don't know exactly if price will sell within this zone. Within this zone one, we don't know if price will sell because we expected price to sell here. Price did sell here, but the sell was not enough. Price sold here to this level before going up. We're expecting price to sell to at least this level, but it did not happen. So price is within this 1 week supply zone. Remember, this 1 week supply zone here was a zone that was created within this point. It got mitigated here, and price has still come within the supply zone again. So we're expecting to see if it will give us, it will still get a reaction there to sell. But we should also remember once a supply zone has been mitigated, it is already considered a point of liquidity. It's telling us there's a probability that price will go above to sweep the liquidity. And if we take ourselves to the left hand side, we can see that there's liquidity above this level. So I have to go back to the weekly time frame to highlight one supply zone. I want to highlight this supply zone so that it also shows on the daily time frame. Good. So getting back to the daily time frame, we can see barely that there's this level of liquidity here. So getting back to this daily time, we can clearly see that there's another level of liquidity here, plus the liquidity was created when this weekly supply zone got mitigated. So what's happening? Either price reacts from this 1 week already mitigated supply zone and give us that sale which we are expecting, that strong sale, or this zone does not fit, this zone is not respected, or it gets violated, and price decides to take out all this liquidity and come within this 1 week unmitigated supply zone and sell downwards. So that's what we're expecting for price to do. Once again, I repeat, either price reacts here and sells downward, or price decides to violate this zone because it wants to sweep out all this liquidity. And once this zone is not respected, price will definitely sweep this liquidity, and we'll expect price to reach up to this level for selling. Based on that, we already have our bias. What are we expecting? We're expecting that, okay, this coming week we'll try to see if there are potentials for a sell here, or there are if we don't get potentials of sell, if we don't get selling opportunities here, we'll just have to watch the market and see what happens. And I would like now to zoom into this chart. Let's see one point of one conference. Remember, if I have to zoom out this chart, this is the daily candle. See how the daily candle did close here. This is an indecision candle telling us here we don't know whether buyers are in control or sellers are in control, telling us there's a probability that price will go up, there's a probability that price will come down due to the fact that this is an indecision candle. Now, is this coming week will be able to tell us the direction of the market? I believe this coming week will be the beginning of a new month of July, and this week will be able to give us market direction, either bullish or sell for the month of July. So we do have to watch the charts. But basically, this is what I'm expecting. I'm simply just expecting price to give us a sell, or if we don't get opportunity of a sell, we leave the chart and see that price take out this zone. Okay, remember, but to be on a safe side, and if you want to follow market structure based on what we are seeing from year to year, we can look clearly. The market is creating higher highs, higher lows, 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 higher highs, higher lows. The another possibility for us is to wait for price to come down, break the structure, form a lower low, give us a retracement for us to enter the trade around here and take the sell. But it doesn't always happen that way. So remember, it doesn't always happen that way. So what I'm expecting is for price to give us an opportunity. And basically, let's scale down now into the daily time, into the 4 hour time frame, the 1 hour time frame, and the 30-minute hour time frame. Basically, I'm already based on my system, I've been able to spot zones where I'm expecting a sell. Going down, as from now, we are on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, I was able to spot a market structure change. That is, at a certain point in time, price was creating higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Price broke structure down to form a lower low. Mm. Price broke structure down to form a lower low. So basically, and there was a supply zone which was created on the 1 hour time frame. Price has come down up to mitigate that supply zone. Remember, here is the break of structure to the downside. And because of the break of structure, I'm able to identify a 1 hour supply zone at this level. And apart from this 1 hour supply zone, let me just name it. So let's, apart from this 1 hour supply zone, was able to identify another supply zone. I think it's between the 30 minutes or the 15 minutes. But let's just get to it. I just have to highlight it. Okay. Let's just get into charts. Okay. Okay, for now, that's what I'm able to identify. If I go to the 5 minutes a little bit. Okay, yes. On the 5 minutes, I was able to identify another supply zone which was not mitigated. Good. Yeah. It's 5 minutes. Good. So, based on the fact that I was able to identify a supply zone on the 5 minutes, I have already two supply zones. I have two supply zones. And based on the fact that I have two supply zones, what am I expecting? I'm expecting price to come into this zone within this week. This will be my first entry point for a sell, and this will be my second entry point for a sell. It must not be right down. 1:6 is okay, and here 1:6 is all okay. Remember, price has already reacted within this 1 week already mitigated zone as I was explaining from the beginning, and I saw a change of structure on the lower time frame telling us that price is about to change direction. Remember, price start showing us change of direction. Price start showing us the possibility of a change of direction from buy to sell or sell to buy. Firstly on the lower time frame. So as I'm able to see that on the lower time frame here, I just need to spot zones of entry. These are my two zones of entry. Once I once I price reacts and come back into these zones and give me this trade, I'm okay. If I fail these two trades, if these two trades are losses, I will no longer trade within these zones. I will give the chart time to breathe and to provide me new setups. And my main reason for entering this trade is simply because we have a level of liquidity sitting at this level. And also, guys, I will take this trade only on the condition that it does not occur on Monday. I don't trade on Mondays. I trade on Mondays only when we have news on Mondays. If not, I don't trade on Monday, because on Mondays the market is really slow. People are not really into the market. So sorry if the video has been locked. Thanks for watching. Thanks for staying tuned to the channel. I was just trying to pinpoint a certain point in my trading. As I said again, based on the daily time frame, we are expecting a sell within this zone. We already have two selling opportunities within this zone, which we are expecting to take some short sale. One is to 6. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe, comment, and share to friends. See you next week for another video. Stay safe, stay blessed.